I saw again the robot that's going to be trialed in America for BMW will be the first one to trial the first humanoid robot.
Oh, dude, I saw a humanoid robot the other day that I don't know where it was that like could do everything. Its hands moved, its fingers moved, everything moved on it, and it was like, what the hell? We're at that stage already. So I was watching. AI is a big thing, obviously, and it is probably going to take up the majority of our conversations for the next God knows how long, right? But they were saying, I was watching one of the podcasts that I was watching where they were saying, in the short space of time we've had artificial intelligence.
Even before AGI, because remember, we talked about how these systems make mistakes that are totally different from the kinds of mistakes we make, right? And so what that means is we make a whole bunch of mistakes that an AI would not make, especially as it gets closer to our capabilities. They expanded the set of stable materials.
Right, stable materials. For the camera's benefit, because you wouldn't have seen that, I was watching a podcast where Joe Rogan had two AI experts on and was talking to them about how the leaps in AI have allowed them already, in the short period of time we're in, to already be able to do things like understand the sequence of amino acids and so forth so that they can build new drugs.
The biggest thing that Jeff Bezos is working now is he's trying to achieve immortality. Based on what they've done with Fold-Free, pretty much try to predict and develop new proteins while stopping them from taking the aging protein from your body, modify it, reprogram it, inject it back to your body.
You no longer die.
You are an immortal, mate. And who will have access to this? People with the most money in the world, because I would.
So
you would. Everybody would who would be able to afford it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Easy. The way they put it was that in a single throw, it 10x'd how many stable materials we know of.
Yeah.
Right? So the stable materials that we know of were found in our history. So all the way through history, the Greeks, the Romans, up to the whoever was after, all of that, throughout that history was when all the stable materials were found. So let's say there was 100,000 stable materials. In one swoop, it's 10x that, so it's 1 million. So all of those 100 years of history, it took humans to find those stable materials, right? AI has done like that and 10x'd it. So we've gone from a few hundred years to instantaneous.
The same with the one that I showed you previously with the input into an AI, ask him to develop something that could walk.
Yep.
And it developed it straight away.
In a different way than what we would do because we understand the motion of walking as a human.
But it took seconds. Us to start walking, it took hundreds and hundreds of billions of years.
Yeah, it figured it out in seconds.
That's the benefit of having all the information at once, and you can interrogate it at once. We can't do that yet.
No, because because we haven't got all the information in our brain to interrogate at once, and we can't absorb that information as quick as AI can absorb a new piece of information and then spit out whatever it needs to.
The way I see it, we will never be able to do what the AI is doing, because the AI has the information in the cloud, and when you ask a question, he interrogates every single chapter, his philosophy, history, science, human behavior, and when you ask a question, he checks all of that instantly.
Yep.
And then he comes back with the information from all the points. So it's pretty much a genius. You can't do that. The last time when this was possible was back in the days, in the primitive ways, when we had like Aristotle, Pythagoras, because the field was limited. But now it's a different level. You can't.
I think the one interesting thing for me, I think I said this actually at the end of last year, was that what I wanted out of this year was hardware. Yeah. Right? And we then dropped the Humane pin, which has been an absolute failure. They are now looking to sell their company.
What's that?
Humane pin.
Oh yeah, that's that shit.
Here and reads on your hand. After they got their review from the English guy that does the review, and they're like basically trashed it.
Yeah, but that's inaccurate one.
Their company is now up for sale.
Yeah.
Because but I wanted hardware. But with Microsoft's announcement last week of their Copilot Plus PCs.
Yeah, that's finally something that is useful. The rest, like the Rabbit as well, you have to check to do.
I do need to check to it. But it was when I wanted more hardware. So when those things came out, I was like, oh, cool, somebody's bringing out hardware. Yeah. But actually, what I didn't realize at the end of last year was what hardware I wanted. Because what hardware would I use? Now, there isn't much. So to add, let's take the Rabbit R1, for instance, or even the Humane Pin. To have another device that you have to carry around with you to be able to do stuff that isn't your mobile phone, because we're all extremely attached to our mobile phones or watches, right? Is Mr. looks at his watch every 5 seconds. What I didn't realize is what I actually wanted. Until last week, until Microsoft released the Copilot Plus PCs. Yeah. And for those of you that haven't seen it, where have you been? Have you been under a rock? Microsoft released their Copilot Plus PCs. HP are bringing some out. Lenovo are bringing some out. Dell are bringing some out. Asus are bringing some out. Acer's bringing some out all in conjunction with Microsoft. Even Samsung is back in business, baby. Samsung that was like not selling laptops to the UK, not doing that anymore. They stopped completely. Now it's like, they've released hardware that has now got a new chip in it called an NPU, neural processing unit, rather than a computer processing unit.
Dude, the reason why every single manufacturer accepted it, even Samsung is a big thing because people don't realize it yet. Yeah. If I can integrate it in a laptop,
I can put it in a fridge.
In a fridge, in a phone, in anything.
And anything. Yeah. So that's where Samsung's going. Yeah. It's like if I can integrate that into a laptop, that can fit in a fridge, that can fit in a microwave, that can fit in a washing machine, that can fit in anything that actually Samsung makes their money on, which is all of that type of goods that they turn their money on.
It enhances the AI on everything.
Yeah.
Because look, for example, yes, we were quite keen on the Rabbit because you're like, oh, point at things, what's this? Blah, blah, blah. But since the last update on the ChatGPT 4.0.
It now does it. Dude. Although it's not available. That was the one thing that I was like, when they released 4.0, I was like, okay, but they've only brought out the desktop client for Mac. Why? That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Now I fully understand it because Microsoft a week later releases Copilot Plus PCs.
But yet again, we use the phone a lot now in communication and everything.
We do, yeah.
And with the updates from ChatGPT on the phone, dude, I use it so much. I just speak with it. I speak with it.
Chat with
it. If it's something that I do not know, like a plant, I had a plant that was dying. I didn't know why. I pointed at it. Why is this dying? Oh, it's not meant to be in the sun. And I was like, okay. And again, another like the
is it coming back to life now?
Oh yeah, yeah. And another thing is like. With the human pin, obsolete. Yeah. ChatGPT made it obsolete. Rabbit, it had
obsolete
again. So with this update,
this is what Sam Altman from OpenAI said in an interview. He was like, "We are running at such a pace in doing what we're doing. If you're building based off using our technology, but you're building something that we don't have yet, you have to look at it in one or two ways. One is, why don't we have it? Is it that we haven't hit that part on our map yet? Or is it, do we feel that we don't need it? Now, we're going to run over you because we're just advancing forwards, and it's not on purpose, and it's not like, oh yeah, they've got a brilliant idea, we're going to steal that. It's like, no, we've got our plan. We know where we're going. We know what we're aiming to do with it. And lots of stuff appears to us as in, I won't say magic, but that they don't know. So the capabilities that some of the AIs have got, the builders don't understand why they've got that capability, right? How it can translate multiple languages, how ChatGPT learned maths and algebra all on its own.
Football as well.
Right? Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's learning its own capabilities. So there is an element of not uncertainty, but unknown to it. And it's like, if we hit that marker, we're going to run straight over you and it's not intentional. And they've basically done that to Humane Pin and Rabbit, the Rabbit R1.
And
the minute they release their new thingy, is just run completely straight over it. Unfortunately, that happens in tech. But the thing that I liked about last week's announcement from Microsoft wasn't just that it's AI baked into the computer, right? Is that one, that for the first time in a very long time, right? There's something new in a PC. There's a new piece of hardware being put into a PC.
There are 2 pieces of hardware, not just one. Don't forget about the RAM, because it comes with the RAM.
So it comes with the LLP DDR5 RAM, which will be either soldered or non-soldered to the board, depending on which model.
1 pound bit that's going to be soldered.
Guaranteed. I have the new Surface laptop from Microsoft, Copilot Plus, coming on June 18th is the release date. It will be very interesting to see what it's got in it, whether it's got on both. But the NPU, so neural processing unit, okay, something new hardware inside the device that we've not had before in a very long time. We haven't.
It's 20 years. I think it's 20 years because I've been as excited when they first announced the first Intel i3 processor, because that was the gap when they start from dual core or.
But this is the other thing. So not only have we got an NPU in, but we have a chip built by Microsoft. This is not an Intel chip. This is not an ARM. It's built on ARM technology.
Yeah.
But this is a chip built by Microsoft.
Well, pretty much the main competitor for Microsoft can do it. But let's face it, it's Apple. Apple can do it.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing Apple now. You know, when we done that meme where Google is being buried by
ChatGPT and Microsoft.
That's starting with, because now the NPU by Microsoft is, I don't know, 50% more powerful than the latest.
50% more powerful than the M3,
I think, yeah.
20% more. I can't remember if it was more efficient, but 20% something more than that. But
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Everybody was using the Apple products, the laptops, for the capabilities in editing.
Yes.
But now with the Microsoft Surface and everything that's going to come to the market now, it's of huge competition, because with the AI, you can do that at a.
But they're as expensive as an Apple.
Yeah, but if you're using Apple, that's not a problem. You don't look at the.
But if you're using Windows, you don't want to move to Apple to get the abilities that it has, or the better bits that it has over Windows. If you can go and spend a little bit more money and buy it on a Windows
and it's going to get more and more accessible. That's why you have all the manufacturers involved.
So you know, Apple is in conversations with OpenAI.
Well, pretty much he's a cool kid in school, dude.
He's the cool kid. That Microsoft will allow them to work together. It's interesting.
It happened in the past with the Office apps.
Yep. Yeah, because they wanted spread of their Office apps, so therefore let's work with our competitors. But if OpenAI brings ChatGPT to Siri, that's a whole different playing field. Because at the moment, to talk to ChatGPT, you have to go in, you have to open an app, you have to press the button, you need to start.
So it's an API. At the end of the day, it's an API. You just need to get it right.
Yeah.
That's it.
But for it to come to Siri and make Siri, because Siri's been lacking for a very long fucking time.
Even the Samsung one is the same. Samsung, I think the reason why Samsung is in the list of manufacturing laptops with AI capability is just about to get their hands on their sort of service. Because
they've been lacking in it.
That's the bit missing on the phone. Because what else do you want from a phone? You want to be able to communicate with the phone like a real person.
Yeah.
We have it, but it's not quite. It's like it's glitching. but having the ability of ChatGPT where you have information for everything. Imagine having the phone. Oh, I want to cook something. I want to do, I don't know, Italian pasta, carbonara. How do I do that? And your phone, you don't need to go on YouTube. Let's search how do I do carbonara.
No.
It will spin the shed. It's like, oh, can you pull me in? Because it has the ability to open apps. It's like with the LG. Oh, I'm too excited. My brain needs to stop for a second. It's like with the LG TVs that we have. It's like, oh, open YouTube and look for this.
Yeah.
It'll be the same thing. Oh, I want to do carbonara.
Yeah.
Tell me how to do it. Open a YouTube video with the best rating on how to do it.
Yeah.
It's on your phone directly and you start cooking. You don't need to input. So that's the...
It's taking away. So actually, probably about 2 years ago, one of the podcasters or one of the entrepreneurs that I listened to, right, was saying and professing that the next big thing, this is before AI blew up, right? This is before any of us knew about ChatGPT, was talking about voice being the next massive leap in everything, in search, because of the Alexa products, because of the Google Home products. This is where he'd start this conversation from. Because of the Alexa products, because of the Google, that it's going to be voice, and voice data is going to be a massive thing. So making sure, and he was talking about his podcast and other things at the time, making sure that he's got audio versions that are uploaded to things like Amazon Music and Spotify and informational stuff, talking stuff like this, uploaded so that when people search for stuff in the future, that is what will be presented, right? So voice being the next big. And actually, sitting here now, 2 years on, he was 100% fucking good.
Yeah, he's spot on.
Because the variable that he didn't know existed was AI in the middle. That AI would make that more faster.
I think nobody was expecting it
nobody was expecting it to explode like it did, right? But that variable in the middle has now made voice and voice commanding and voice talking, because you can have a natural conversation. I did it. I was at home when it got released. I was building out a document, and I literally I was using AI to assist me, and I stuck my headphones in. I sat out in the back garden. I put on ChatGPT with conversation, and I explained to ChatGPT in natural voice what I wanted to do, and it came back to me and asked me questions, and then it spat out in my ear the bits of the document that I wanted, right? And then I could go to the chat and it was all there in text to be moved into document and be spell checked and blah, blah, blah. That ability allowed me to create a document that if I'd sat at my laptop would have taken me longer. Even if I was using ChatGPT in the chat form, text form, it would have still taken me long to type all the stuff that I wanted to say in the right context, in the right tone, so that, do you know what I mean? It would have taken me an hour, maybe 2 hours. It took me all of 10 minutes, sat in my back garden, talking to an AI.
Yeah, I did the same thing with it. It's easier. Instead of typing, first of all, you lose time.
Yep.
Because you type, and then it's like, oh, you misspelled it. And
I'm in an hour in on, I didn't quite get that bit. Whereas if you're speaking it, it's what's in your head rather than, because here to here is quicker than here to here.
Yeah, that's true.
And wow, that was I think I've been wowed over the last year and a half since AI came out. When it first launched and we were all like, what is this?
Yeah.
Right? It wowed me at that stage, right? I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then, as you'd have seen in videos, and this lot have seen, there's certain times when they brought out something and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. But having that conversation with it, like, blew my head off. It was like, this is what the future is going to be. So from all the movies that any of us have ever watched, and Ready Player One is the one that pops into my brain, right? Talking to Jarvis, which is another one that people talk about, talking to any AI in any of the movies, that's where we, as techies, we all want to be, right? I want to be able to walk in on a Monday morning and open the door and go, morning, Jarvis, morning, whatever we've decided to call it. It talks back to me, turn the lights on, get this ready, let's do this, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? And vocally talk to it for it to do stuff. But because AI at the moment up until very recently, cannot perform actions for you without being pre-programmed to do actions, right? Unless it's built into an aggregator which has rules applied to it, then it can only do that one action. What I want is now is open action, that I can ask it to do stuff and it can do it. We are one step closer by the looks of it now that we've got laptops and PCs coming with AI baked into them.
I have to tell you something.
To do stuff.
I have to tell you something. Another thing. By 2025, I think, you know, the Tesla robot is going to be available to be purchased in 2025.
£30,000, $30,000.
Yeah. Dude, you're going to have a butler in the office pretty much for 30,000. You're going to have somebody at the door all the time. Leave it. It's going to do, and it's going to answer back to you.
Dude, we go even.
Dude, it's 1 year.
It's 1 year. So 30,000, right, is a base salary, right?
Yeah.
It's a base salary for a base engineer a year. But you spend 30,000 to buy it, and then I'm going to guarantee that Tesla has got some sort of subscription to make sure you got your updates, to make sure your warranty and wear and tear.
It's not one-off time purchase.
But depending on what you can teach it to do, yes. In your first instance, we've got a butler. It will go.
Does it come?
Chris can turn to it and go set up the cameras, set up the lights, and it will trot away and do stuff.
Well,
answer the door.
The first one, I don't think it's going to be that capable to set up the camera.
This is the thing.
I was thinking about the old people. Because there are a lot of old people that the kids can't go with them shopping. But this guy, get in the car, he'll get in the car with you.
Yep.
Let's go shopping, mate.
Yep, carry my shopping.
Or like helping pull the trolley and the things that, you know, we lose our ability, our strength. But this will be there for us to help us. And also
2025.
Yeah.
So we have a year and a half to make a redundance of $30,000 to buy a robot.
Yeah, very much. Does it come in a female version?